Item number 9, public comment on items not on this agenda. It is the council's policy to refer matters raised in this forum to staff for investigation and interaction where appropriate. The Brown Act prohibits the council from discussing or acting upon any matter not agendized pursuant to state law. Would anyone like to address the council?
Sorry, folks.
Just tell us your name and your street.
My name is Charles Berry. I live on Linden. So I just wanted to bring to your attention the passing of a longtime resident. So a couple of our neighbors got together, put a few words together. We just want to make sure that her passing didn't go without note. So in memoriam, hang on. So we honor our Huntington Park, Linden Avenue neighbor, Gail Stoddard Williams, who passed away in May after a long illness, lovingly tended to by her husband Jim and their children. Gail grew up in San Bruno. Her parents moved her family to Linden when she was just 4 years old. She lived in that same house, raised her own family, and supported her community until her final days on Linden Avenue. A graduate of Cappuccino High School, she held a lifelong interest in local history and was an avid professional in genealogical research. She enriched many people's lives with her sense of community and familiar responsibilities. Gail was a giver. She had a gentle nature with a sincere interest in helping wherever she could. She'd always been involved in her community in some way. As an adult, she was the City of San Bruno coordinator for the Perot for President campaign and contributed valuable time to the Girl Scouts, Cub Scouts, PTA, as the Cappuccino High School fundraising chairwoman, and as a researcher for the Friends of San Bruno Vision Framework. Gail's favorite color was purple. Her home, her clothes, her garden hose. I lived next door to her. She had a purple garden hose. It was great. Evidence of her nature. I mean, you could just see it everywhere. I mean, the neighborhood cats, whether it be strays or the neighbors' cats, they would just kind of find their way to her and, make her way inside and, feel at home on her couch. But anyway, we thank you, Gail, for her gentle presence and her neighborly spirit, and we will miss her. When we see the skies above awash in soft purple and blue hues, we will smile at the thought of you making your mark in God's garden, and we thank you again for the beauty of your life. So respectfully submitted, the neighbors of Linden and Poplar Avenue with the Friends of San Bruno Vision Framework.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Sure.
And we did, I was absent at the meeting, but a couple of meetings ago, Vice Mayor Ibarra did close the meeting in her memory. So you should know that.
Thank you very much.
All right. Anyone else under public comment?
Steve, Mastic Avenue. I'd really like to thank Eric, Mr. Jackson, for the presentation he did earlier on San Bruno Responds. I think it was very helpful, and if anyone was in this room, it would have been very easy for them to see how to use that app. I want to thank you all and Connie for bringing the app to the San Bruno public. I think it's going to be helpful. I realize that in the beginning there may be an onslaught of reports, but I think in the end it's going to make things more efficient, and we'll be more proud of our neighborhoods. I'd also like to share with everyone something that we did this past weekend. A group of 30 of us went to Commodore Park, and we cleaned up that park. It was great. It was a real community event. It's the kind of thing that I felt really proud to be a part of. Not unlike the events that the city puts on that brings everybody together. It's kind of brings a sense of pride. And in Commodore Park, we were able to do some weeding and picking up some trash. And one thing that I think we noticed was there's been a discussion here for a long time about dog parks. The dog park at Commodore Park, I think we could be proud of that dog park. I think with a little bit of work that we could kind of bring that thing to life without a lot of effort. It's not well kept right now, but if we put just a little bit more effort into it, it could be well kept, and more people then could use that dog park than use it today. So I know we've talked about other places we could put dog parks, and we've got the city park thing going in Grundy, but I think more people would use that dog park if a little more care was taken at it. So I ask you all if there's anything that we can do, kind of bring it to life. I think we'd see a lot more four-legged family members in that park. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Anyone else under public comment?
Good evening, Tim O'Brien, Florida Avenue. I took part in the cleanup of Commodore Park as well with Steve and many other residents and friends. It was a good time out. We had a little barbecue after. But yeah, the park was in bad condition, and so it was fun. I mean, it was good. We took pride in cleaning it up and making it look nice. But as far as the dog park, I know we've talked before with Park and Rec about improving that site, the dog park, and I don't think it'll take that much effort to do it. It's already there, and we can make a lot more improvements to make it more functional and more inviting for people to come there and hang out. I think it's a great place, a great site. We can improve it with some more benches. We were there, we talked to a few people that were there hanging out while we were cleaning the park, and they were from out of town. They weren't from San Bruno, they were from like Pacifica, South City, and Daly City. And they made some recommendations too as far as improving the park, making it a little bigger, more inviting, and just some slight improvements. You know, making more of a grassy area for it. And my wife and I, Raina, will help out. We're willing to adopt that park and make improvements to it, and get other people involved and to improve that park. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Anyone else under public comment? Not to get too far out of line here in public comment, but Carrie, could you give us just a brief overview of Adopt a Park?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Through the Parks Division of the Community Services Department, with the approval of the Parks and Recreation Commission and the City Council a couple of years ago, we have an Adopt a Park program where community organizations, school organizations, faith-based organizations can come to us with concepts and ideas for parks that they would like to adopt or activities in a park that they would like to adopt. We have a structured program. We can support them and make sure that the work that they're doing in the park meets the overall objectives of the maintenance in that park. And so we invite them to give us a call. You can reach us, let's see what the best number would be. Call me. You can reach me at 616-7181, and I would be delighted to talk to you about the park, Adopt a Park program.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, seeing no other speakers, we'll go on